guys, welcome to Girl Meets Screen. My name is Norma, your host of whatever. And as you can see today, we're talking Ginny and Georgia, season 2. I was gonna say 3. Season 2. So we're just gonna go through, I'm just gonna talk about things that stood out to me, you know? Like, this won't necessarily be like a play-by-play type of recap situation. We're just gonna talk about things and how we felt about them. So we're jumping right in. We get Grandma and Grandpa on Dad's side, Zion, Zion. Okay. Just kidding, but he is a beautiful man. Anyways, yeah, we get the grandparents and okay. Honestly, watching, I couldn't stand them. Like, I was like, why are they being so mean? Like, the past is in the past. Why are you making this weird for the kids and weird for their mom? But I can kind of see like why it's tough where, you know, Georgia disappeared for a bit with her. So they didn't get the experience as grandparents that they wanted. I actually wanted to go back to season 1 to try to find where Georgia runs away, because I know she felt like they were trying to take Ginny from her. I just couldn't remember if that was just like her perception of the conversation or if they were actually trying to like, we'll take custody, or that they were like, we'll help with her while you guys, you know, be kids and get your life. I don't know. Can't remember. Anyways, yeah, so I really struggled with Grandma and Grandpa because then they're back for that Christmas dinner situation and it's just like, you can have your feelings, but like, come on now. We're just out here belching out them feelings anywhere in front of any old body. Like, it was questionable. It was questionable. And I was like, maybe it's just my culture, but like, this would not happen. Like, if my Dominican family elders, whatever you want to call them, were like meeting, however the connection was, some white people's parents, we ain't saying nothing. We smiling. We a big old happy family. Ain't no problems here. We all love each other. I love my son's, you know, ex-wife, like my grandkid's mom. Like, we putting up a whole front. So that was a little bit interesting to me, but it's just me. Paul's parents, talking about the Christmas party, they were at the Christmas party, but she also meets them. I don't know why she expected any less. She's very much Southern bumpkinish a little bit. She knows that. That's why she's done everything she's done to get to where she is. So I don't know why she thought this like come from money guy's parents would like welcome her with open arms. I mean, I guess you do see that sometimes, but it's just like, I ain't see that happening. I don't know how to feel about them. I mean, they show up to the wedding and everything, so maybe they're just kind of like, they have their feelings, but it's like, he's making the choice he's making, you know? So I guess we're okay with them until we see more. Of course, we have the major scene of Ginny, like Zion finding out that Ginny's cutting, Ginny having her first panic attack, and that whole scene play out. The panic attack situation's so real. I call them anxiety attacks, but maybe they're worse than I thought. I don't know. It does happen to me sometimes if I'm really overwhelmed. It happened once when I was pregnant, just watching TV with Arlene and Cam, and it came out of nowhere. So I don't know if maybe my mind was running and I like wasn't even noticing, but they are not fun. So we all know the last season ends with PI dude telling Ginny about her mom. But what I don't get is like how she takes this man's words to heart about her mother. Like, of all people, your mom, like the woman who has raised you, the woman who got you away from that man who did that, like, and I feel like once he told her about her mom killing that guy, I kind of feel like she could have figured out like why, you know, like it wasn't not obvious, if that makes sense. I don't know if I'm making sense, but my point is, like, to me, it didn't fully make sense how like repulsed she was by her mom and how like rebellious she became towards her mom, because it was just like, it's your mom. Like, how are you taking this guy's word about who your mom is? Like, some random man comes to you and is like, your mom isn't who you think she is, and you're like, yep, sounds accurate. My mom, this guy knows more my mom more than I do. Like, what? So that felt weird to me from jump. But I mean, we get there eventually, so it's okay. I know everyone's pointing it out. I enjoyed Bracia being a bigger part of the show this season. I think we all did. The only thing I didn't like was like her and the whole love interest situation. I was so confused at all times when they had scenes together, or like when, because it was like do you like her? Like, sometimes I was like, does he like her? Like, or is she like, is this just normal who he, because you know, some guys it's like, I mean, that's just how I am with everybody. But I don't know, it was so frustrating sometimes. I was like, just say you like each other. Like, this is, it's not 6th grade. Like, it's high school. Somebody write a note with some, tell a friend to tell a friend. I don't know, do something about it because it's getting weird. Max is still being a jerk to Ginny, and for some reason Abby too. I don't get what she's so upset about. You know, in movies, like the best friend sleeping with the best friend's brother is always like this big, weird, like angry thing. I don't get it. I don't know that I'd care, you know, like, I don't know. So I have an older brother that's 3 years older, a little brother who's 3 years younger. So, I mean, we're all adults now. So, like, I really would, like, even back then, like, if we were all of appropriate ages and it wasn't weird age-wise, I wouldn't care. Like, I'm like, I don't know. I wouldn't care. I don't get it. In high school, granted, they're twins. So I guess that is a little bit different because they hang out with the same friends. Versus if you're in like different grade levels or whatever, like you have your own crew. So even if like they broke up or didn't work out, it's not like, you know, you're gonna be around each other. But I just didn't get being that upset about it. What I did enjoy though was the development of Ginny and Abby's friendship due to Max being Max. That was a lot of fun. I really hope that if there is another season, they delve into Abby's whole situation, because a lot of people were saying like, oh yeah, you could catch on that she has some sort of like eating disorder or weight issue, perception situation, body dysmorphia. I missed that. And maybe I just don't remember from the first season, but the only scene this season that I saw was when the guy was like, dang girl, what you eating? When he like falls down trying to do push-ups with her on him. And she like reacts all nervous like, but I don't know. And then what is the taping? Somebody comment down below and tell me what like the taping of the thighs comment meant when he's like touching her thigh at the play or whatever. Because I've never heard of that. And I genuinely wanted to know. I meant to Google it and I haven't. But hey, if you hear this, comment, let me know if you know. Anyways, yeah, I hope they delve into Abby more because I want to know more about her and what's going on. But I am glad her and Ginny developed that friendship. I felt like that helped bring them all a lot closer when all the drama's over. Of course, eventually in the season, we kind of move on to this point where Georgia has kind of told Ginny, I think mostly everything. I know the first time it's like just why she did what she did to Kenny. Basically, Ginny figures out that it's because of what he had tried to do to Ginny. Obviously, this is a huge weight for your kid to carry, to feel like it's my fault, my mom did that. And so Ginny's struggling a lot with that, of like, that's a huge burden to put on me, right? Like, mom was coming from a good place of like, I love you, I would kill for you, which all us moms would do. But the fact that Georgia did it is like, and I can see where Ginny's coming from, because I think Ginny's mindset is more like, we could have just bounced on him. Like, I don't get why we had to take it as far as killing somebody, but but yeah, anyway, so that's like that whole situation. Ginny doing the poem, mom still not getting it. That was rough. That was like, you would have thought that would have been an eye-opener. But of course, Georgia's still feeling, I think a lot of us do this in relationships and friendships where you're just like, you only see your side and you're like, that's hurtful. Like, how do you feel like that when I've expressed this to you? You know, like, so her mom feels like, I freaking killed for you. How much more do I need to do to show you that like, you're everything to me, you know? Which it's like, that's not what I need. Which brings us to the therapy sessions. When she brings up her mom, and then when her mom is actually there with her, I loved when she brought up her mom and she's like, a kid pushes you off the bike. You're not expecting your mom to like mess up his bike or whatever, like sabotage his bike so he falls and dies. You just want your mom to like hug you and kiss the boo-boo better or whatever I don't think that's exactly what she says at all, but it was a good moment. It was a good moment. The therapy session with Georgia there, also a good moment. Crazy the way that went. But really dope, interesting scene to put in and see of Georgia just kind of things sort of starting to click, her sort of getting it and having to like see her side in it and not just like, I love this kid to death, what doesn't this kid understand? And kind of being like, okay, if I put my stuff aside, she's got some major stuff too. Ginny and Max make up, Mang is back together, all is right with the world. I did feel a little bit weird that Ginny wasn't like, you know, I'm sorry I hurt your feelings, or there wasn't some sort of like Ginny also taking accountability. Same thing when she has a conversation with Hunter where it's like, I wasn't the only one, and it's like, I mean, but you cheated. So like, you got it. that's still, but I know that she knows it's wrong. I get it. I know that she knows what she did to Max, but also, yeah, she's right in Max not being a good enough friend to like hear her out and like, you know, yeah. So, but we're glad they're friends again, and because Max was a lot. Joe and Cynthia were freaking the weirdest combo, the weirdest, like, in what world would that happen? It wasn't realistic to probably either of their personalities, but mostly Joe's. I don't see Joe like taking advantage of a situation like that, and not that he ever was. Like, it's clear that that's not what he was doing, but it's like the Joe we know's mind would never go there. Like, the Joe we know would never be like, oh shit, I'm starting to like Cynthia, you know, like, while she's still dealing with the situation with her husband. It's not like he's passed and she's not grieving, or we're like, it was just like, what? And then Cynthia randomly just like ending it or stopping it was very weird too. Maybe I missed a scene somewhere, like wasn't paying attention, but I was just like, where did that even come from? Like, other than obviously guilt because of like her husband's technically still alive or whatever, but I don't know. It obviously that's a complicated one, but just weird. A very, very weird plot point, but interesting. And I mean, I'm glad we had it. It kept us engaged. I need another like comment situation. Can someone tell me, I don't know if I missed it or it was never said, what the heck happened to Joe's eye? I'm like, clearly I've missed a lot if you're able to actually answer these things for me, but what happened with his eye? I am so confused. One thing, I wish that the parents had actually gotten involved in the racist teacher situation or the prejudice teacher situation, whatever we're calling it. I hate that that just wasn't handled and she just was like moved into this crappy English class. I feel like when the parents found out she got moved into this English class, that's when they should have been like, shut it down. Excuse me, sir, time to talk to you. Excuse me, school, time to talk to you. You know, like, it's just so weird. And then like Hunter and Max being like, you ready to raise hell, or like, you want to raise hell. And then all they do is that little like disruptive thing in class. And it's like, but what does that solve? She's still stuck in an English class that's not her level and that she just shouldn't be in and isn't happy in. Like, no one's gonna do nothing. Gil, how could I forget about Gil? Bro, Gil is just the whole situation. I love the flashbacks. Okay, the Gil storyline is everything. Like, I was so interested. It was so like, I just can't even explain it. It was just so good. Seeing like the like flashback scenes with him were so freaking interesting, like, and just so different. I love that this show has such an approach when it comes to like Georgia and everything. I hope you can't hear their iPads in the background, but one of my favorite scenes was when Georgia's asking what he does, and he kind of basically tells her his whole like fraud scheme at his job, and she's like, dang, I thought you was like just this little 401k like smart dude, not a criminal, like just like me type of thing, you know? Like, she was like, dang, I thought I was getting out and I'm still here. Austin like shooting him and like just that whole everything that happens was just like, whoa. Had me like, whoa. Him like basically the reason he was back was to blackmail her to like get Paul's money, the way Paul shuts it down. Like, it's just we'll get to that. We'll get to that. I wasn't gonna mention it, but I'm just gonna mention the PI dude gets on my dang nerves. Go get a life. Go do something else. Like, can't you let that woman be happy? Like, you can see she ain't trying to bother nobody no more. Like, get out. And mind you, like, he can kind of calculate how old she was when all of these things happened. So it's like, I feel like you can figure out like that it wasn't exactly as black and white as she's just this terrible human, you know? But you listen to me justifying murder. Don't mind me. I just don't see the world in black or white. Like, I see that people sometimes have to do things due to circumstance. It doesn't make it right, but it's just reality of the world we live in. To say this really quick, Max's ex got on my dang nerves. Like, how are you gonna be like, leave me alone, stop? And then when she finally leaves you alone, you come back around like, ooh, miss you, da-da-da. Because what didn't make sense to me, she's telling her to leave her alone, but like, you're going everywhere she's going. Like, you're at the coffee shop that you know like her friend works for and she might be there. You're going to school events that you know she's gonna be at. Like, make it make sense. Like, if you don't want to be around her, don't be around her. And not saying you can't go to school functions and stuff, but it's like, she's going to the play. She's going to, like, again, her friend's mom's event. Like, how do you not think you're not gonna run into your ex in those situations? Like, BFFR. Reaching the end, and this is where we have Marcus. Why am I smiling? Because we find out that Marcus deals with depression, severe depression. I really enjoyed seeing the side of Max that like cares, and not that I didn't think she cared about her brother, but it was like really nice to see Max not thinking about herself first for something, or just like being able to like put her whole essentially personality aside, right? Because she's very like, what about me? But like when, as soon as she notices the changes in her brother, it's like, I'm worried about him. He needs help. Let me go talk to him. Let me, you know, like, so I really enjoyed getting to see that side of Max and Marcus's situation. Him breaking up with Ginny, I really understood like what that was because of, you know, his conversation with Georgia and everything. So it was a very interesting look at that situation too. I enjoyed that he was kind of like wanting, like while he loved her, wanted to stay with her, he knew one, he wasn't in a space to help her through her stuff, and he knew that she wasn't in a space to help him through his stuff. So it's like, it wasn't like, okay, well, since she's been sharing with me, then I can share with her. Because then it's just like two really messed up people trying to like lift each other up while they're both being like pulled down by these things. So I like that he was kind of like able to see that like, this isn't what either of us needs right now. Like there's a lot more going on. There's a lot more we need. And then I really enjoyed Ginny being able to easily shift from like, he broke my heart, he didn't really love me, to seeing like, oh, like he was dealing with something, and her being able to put her stuff aside and like, well, I'm gonna be there for him in the way that I can be and in the way that we can meet at. I forgot to mention in the Gil situation, am I the only one who thought the little like family cover-up moment was cute? I know it's dark as hell, but I thought it was cute. Like Austin's like drawing his little picture. Is his name Austin, bro? I hope it is. He's drawing his little picture. Jenny's like cleaning things up. He covers up the freaking bullet hole with his picture. Like I'm just obsessed. I don't know why I found it cute. I need help. She justified murder. She thinks it's cute that the family's covering up shooting somebody in the shoulder. Just pray for me. I am completely perplexed by the Georgia and Cynthia situation. I do always enjoy an enemy to friends situation with women. So I did like that they became friends. I liked to see how Cynthia at first was like helping out Gil, and then realized like, okay, Georgia might suck, but this man is crazy, and helped her out. But then I don't understand Georgia killing the husband. I'm like, you could have stayed all the way out of that. All the way out of that. And I don't think we got enough out of the scenes of the two of them for that to make sense for her to do. I don't know if that makes sense. Like, I know why she did, you know, like sparing Cynthia and letting them be able to move on because he's like there, but he's not. But again, it felt extreme for how much we've been shown of their friendship developing. I feel like we probably needed a few more scenes of that closeness getting closer to then be like, okay, it makes sense why she would do that. Because it felt very like, this is a new friendship. Relax, you know? But that's just me. Let me know what you think. And then we have such a fun ending. Not fun. It's not fun. But it was like almost comical, but still serious. At least to me, that's how I felt. Like Georgia telling Paul everything. There was so much comedic relief, but then at the same time, like you could still feel the feelings. You could still feel her fear that he wouldn't want her anymore. You could still feel his like anger about the situation while still caring about her. It was just all the energies. And so when I said we'll get back to that, this is what I meant. She tells him everything. Next day he calls her into his office, and it's basically for him to show her like, bro, at this point, if you don't believe me, walk away yourself. Like, because he basically shows her, like, I'm here for you. Like, I'm here to protect you. Like, you can tell me anything, and I'm gonna hold it down for you. You know, like, this man, the things he finds out about this woman, and he's like, all right, well, let's show your baby daddy what's up. Like, that's literally Paul. We love Paul. But I thought that was such a dope way to, like, kind of end the series. Because, yeah, it's over. We get her. Then it ends, obviously, with her being arrested. But we love us some Paul. So Georgia's being arrested. Everyone is like, what? Poor Austin is like, I didn't tell anyone. Like, and guys, I am so excited. Like, there better be another season, because I'm so hyped to see where they go with this, because it could go so many ways. Like, I'm curious if she's gonna deny it, or if she's gonna like just admit it and let the chips fall where they may. Because we have both Ginny and Paul who think they know everything, but there's this thing they don't know. We have Austin who thinks like he's at fault somehow, or like, how did these people find out about this type of thing? So we're like, is Austin gonna say something? Like, is he gonna get involved? Is someone gonna like hear him and figure, like, is this PI gonna like what does he have that they were able to arrest? I don't know, bro. I don't, like, was Cynthia part of the situation of her getting arrested? Does Cynthia not know yet? And it's like, whoa, what? So many questions, and I can't wait for season 3. Hope you guys enjoyed. Like the video if you did. Comment down below. Answer all them questions I asked you throughout this video, okay? I need answers. Subscribe for more content like this, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye.